Yeah, hey Bryce, could you describe the moment that you feel like the team came together this fall camp and kind of found their identity, whether it was a big play or wind sprints or a fight, anything like that?
Um, yeah, that's a good question. I wouldn't say that there's particularly one moment where we came together. I think it was, it's gradual. You have to keep building your identity and keep working day in and day out. So I wouldn't say it's one play or one lift or one practice. I think it was just each day us continuing to stack days and continuing to get better. And, you keep adding those on, and we're at where we are now.
Ryan.
Bryce, talking about where you're at right now, obviously Saturday trotting out in Atlanta, exciting time for you getting the start. What's the confidence level for you? And is this kind of the moment you've been waiting for ever since you were a young player?
Yeah, everyone is obviously, everyone's really excited to get season started. You go through a long off season of going against each other, and it's great to, finally be able to play other people and start to game plan and prepare. It's super exciting overall, me individually and us as a team, just for us to start the season. And for us to try to put it together and start game planning and start working towards an opponent, we're all excited about it.
I'm just curious, with all the freshman receivers you guys have and talent there, how have they impressed you? What have they done well to just make such a strong impression?
Yeah, we've had a lot of super talented receivers come in, and a lot of people that have made a really good impression on me, on the rest of the team, and the coaching staff. Really just you can tell when they came in, they were guys that were really experienced at the high school level. You can tell how they came in. They came with a lot of talent. They came in, made a lot of plays early. So we're all super excited about the young group of receivers.
Yeah, Bryce, keeping it on the freshman receivers, can you talk a little bit specifically about JoJo Earl and kind of the development he's had this summer? He seems like he's kind of risen up the depth chart both on special teams and offense.
Yeah, JoJo has done a great job. He came in, and we were all really excited when he got in, and seeing what he's done on the practice field, seeing the work he's put in. It has a really positive impression on a lot of people on the team and a lot of people on the coaching staff. So we're all excited to see JoJo, and he's been doing a lot, and he's been working really hard, and we all have kind of noticed that and seen the professionalism he's come in with. So we're excited for that.
Where's your confidence level in kind of the pieces that are around you that helps move this offense forward?
Yeah, I have all the confidence in the world in my teammates. We are striving for consistency, and we're striving for greatness, but that's doesn't just it's not just one particular player, one particular group. Us as a whole, we all are working to be better each and every day, more consistent. So I have supreme confidence in all my teammates. They're guys that really we've been able to come closer and grow together this off season. So I have all the confidence in the world in the people I'm playing with, and we're all working towards that level of success and that standard that Saban sets for us collectively.
Yeah, Bryce, just what do you have to worry about the most when you're throwing against Josh Jobe, and just what stands out the most to you about his game?
Yeah, Job it's really a great experience for us as an offense to be able to compete against our defense, and in the past games specifically with Job, he's someone that's been really competitive. Always comes to practice with a fire. Always pushes me as a passer, our receiver, whoever he's guarding. So really just that intensity, the attention to detail that you can tell he has, it translates, and it's something that really gets us better and prepares us as we're going into the season.
Yeah, Bryce, just what impresses you most about Miami's defense when watching film?
Yeah, Miami's defense is really good on film. They do a lot of stuff that we have to account for schematically, and they have a lot of playmakers. They especially in the back end, and really all 11 are guys that we've been studying a lot, that we know that we have to prepare for. There's someone that we know we have to come in each day and work, and we know we have to bring our best to Atlanta, and it's a great challenge for us.
What kind of challenge has it been to building cohesiveness on offense? The fact that the guys up front, there's been some injuries and they haven't been able to work as a collective yet.
Yeah, there's always challenges, throughout the off season, but I think really the time not only on the field but off the field, through the meeting room and studying and film and all that. That's really just having those conversations a lot of time off the field really does a lot for us. Obviously, there's that level being on the field together and that experience that it's pretty irreplaceable. But even off the field or on the sidelines, when you have conversations and you talk things out and you really start to develop that, you start to come together and everyone gets on the same page. I feel like that's something that's really helped us a lot this offseason.
How good do you think this current group could be with Mechie back, Bolden back, but then some newcomers as well?
Yeah, no, we have a really good group, a really talented group. There's obviously been a lot of great players in the past, but that's the standard that coach sets for us. There's always going to be people that are great, and there's going to be new opportunities each year, and it's on us to rise and step up and meet that standard. And this offseason, seeing the work all our receiver corps has put in, and seeing how much they've grown, and just being able to play with them, I have all the confidence in the world in them, and I'm super excited to get started.
With your first start coming up, if Alabama wins the toss, would you like to take the ball and get out there first?
Oh yeah, you're definitely asking the wrong person. That's definitely a Coach Saban question.
This is your first game week as the starting guy in Alabama, so I'm just curious how you're feeling going into game week as the starter, and maybe some things that you learned from last season that's going to help you this weekend.
Yeah, I'm super excited. It's always exciting being able to go into a game week, with my teammates and with my brothers, and really going in and to a new environment and us getting to start the season. It's very exciting, and especially last year, just being able to be a part of the team and learn, and even learning this year from my teammates it's been great. It's been a great experience, and I definitely don't take it for granted. I've been able to grow a lot from last year and from this offseason. So I'm super excited to get started.
You've worked with a couple of centers this preseason with Chris and Darian. Just what's that relationship with both those guys, and how's that kind of juggling two of those?
Yeah, both CO and Darian are my guys. We're all really close, and it's great, really, with the whole O-line, but, just specifically talking about those two right now. That's really been probably my favorite part of working with them, is how great of individuals they are, and how well we mesh together, and whether it's on the field, off the field, just being able to be around everyone. And CO and Darian are guys that I'm really close with, both on and off the field, and being able to play with them, and with there being movement, us really having that relationship and us being close, makes all that pretty seamless.
I was wondering how much communication you do have with Mac, and in terms of advice, maybe now that you're taking over the starting job, any advice that he's given you?
Yeah, I've been sworn into secrecy with the advice he's talked to me about. But I've talked to him a few times, and really seeing him do well at the next level is it's really inspiring for me. And really being able to with just being so close to him last year and seeing all that he did on the field, off the field, obviously in games, but the Sunday through Friday that no one sees, seeing how he approached it, that was really a big learning experience for me. So, we've talked a few times. Again, I can't, that stuff that's a little personal, so I can't put it out there, but we've talked a few times, and it's really been great to have him in my corner.
I don't know if you've dealt with the new punter, James Burnett, but if you had, how is he doing with his adjustment? And as someone that kind of had to change cultures from the West Coast to Alabama, what advice would you give him in kind of adapting down here? Yeah,
I had to change from the West Coast. He's a little bit further, all the way in Australia. So, I've talked to him a little bit about my experience being out here, but I'd be foolish to think that it's really relates. Obviously there's some similarities, but he's a lot further from home than I am. But he's been really cool when I've talked to him, and from what I've seen when I've been around him, everything's been good. But he was in a little bit different of a situation than I was.